cocky gesture. Only a few weeks had passed since Ashima had taken his passenger train. It had been Ashima's first day out in a long time. And almost, Malachi, Emily, and Mavis had given Ashima their full support. However, two did not. Croven 875 for 6 quite displeased with Ashima. 875 for 6 was one of her engines brought International Railroad on trial. He doesn't have a name, only a number. He and Croven was a great even common. They were both disrespectful and spiteful. However, unlike Henry, and ever since to know when enough is enough.
You finally managed to make it out of the station,
cackled 875 for 6 as Ashima backed down to the shed one night. Ashima had just returned from her passenger run, and hers feeling quite proud.
What a useless engine you are, Ashima. I'm sure you will be plenty and complain to the passengers tomorrow. You must be running late all day.
The international engines gave 875 for 6 was felt look, but Ashima felt proud.
Actually, we were right on time. I'm very happy to be useful again,
laughed Ashima. Ashima knew that she did not let 875 for 6 words bother at her. The international engines wasn't berated for long. And soon enough, not getting any sort of reaction out of Ashima, the big blue bully drifting off to sleep. As Ashima worked regularly on the passenger train, Franklin combined has extended the timetable to run later, in the evenings. This now meant, Ashima, Emily, and Mavis would be working at the railway service and all across the island. Ashima steamed away, but she was determined to work his hardest. Fortunately for her, she had a loop line, and only saw Croven in 875 for 6 at the big station. The weeks passed. Ashima through her train are getting heavier and heavier, or she was getting smaller and smaller. Duchess had noticed this, and often to help.
Oh, phew. No thank you,
panted Ashima.
You have our own train to manage. We can't upset to the International Railway.
Little did Ashima know, 875 for 6 heard everything, and he made a plan. Malachi arrived at the big station to collect the first passenger train. When he arrived, he saw that there was no coaches.
Gina must be woke up late again,
he thought. He was starting go collect some more, when Alfred came hooting and wheezing to the platform. With Ashima's coaches.
No need to fret,
he said snootly.
I'll be taking Ashima's train right now, Malachi. We mustn't upset to the International Railway.
He laughed loudly as conductor blew his whistle set off. Malachi was cross, but she thought it was best was get on when Ashima's job. That evening, Ashima back to her berth, as 875 for 6 boasted and talking.
We don't need Ashima anymore. I prove I can manage to train at once. Who keep it around when Holly does it was getting away?
Ashima helps build the tracks to run on,
viewed Mavis.
Without her, none of us have any international to help on.
875 for 6 interjected.
She a thing from the past, as splendid engines are faster, shunting, and more often date that fat Hindi.
Ashima finally gave up. She decided to take a stand against 875 for 6. The next day, she woken up earlier than usual to collect her coaches and make it to the platform before 875 for 6. The yard was silent, and Ashima felt sure he had beaten at her.
And what do you think you're doing?
Fuss 875 for 6, Ashima tried to sound breath.
Collecting my coaches. From my passenger train.
It's that so.
875 for 6 hissed.
You're nothing but slow and fat Indian. You're going to sit in the sheds, and until I stay the shed, or even better, scrapped.
Before Ashima can say another word, 875 for 6 backed down onto her line and couple up from her coaches. Ashima heart sank, but not for long.
And just what do you think you're doing?
Mellow from the cowboy voice. It was Franklin combined.
Collecting my train, Mr. Combine.
875 for 6 replied, trying to look innocent as he could.
From what I just seen, that is not a case at all. I've had passenger complaints saying that they're taken to wrong station and fellow workers complaining about your treatment to others.
875 for 6 seconds face turned white as a ghost.
The Great Railway Show.
Franklin combined went on.
Work hard and help fellow engines. You are done neither of those. Let me remind you, I had brought you here to work on trial, and I can see you are not trick at Ashima. You shall go back to the shed for rest of the tonight. For now, I want you to go to work immediately.
875 for 6 didn't muster up a response, so he soaked to the work. Franklin combined turned to Ashima.
You must understand, Ashima. You have one of my engines. We might not think so, but you're not alone on this railway. If you have any trouble, you must come and see me right away. Understand?
Ashima can see with a warm smile, but Franklin combined told everything. She looked at across the yard and saw Malachi, Mavis, and Emily smiling back.
Now, you have to train to pull. Then from now on, I want you to have a good long dream.
As she set off, she felt profession on the International Railroad was secure, and she had no more troubles for that day on. That was, until Croven. I must say any more, or I shall spoil the next story.